Alright, so we're back at the garden. I forget which day this is, August 6th. And we have a pretty great day, which is kind of nice. But I want to highlight is that we've got red sunflowers showing up, and the mammoth is on its way out. There are a couple others out here. I pulled out the dark, what's it called, thorn apples, and that was kind of the spirit that was inhibiting a lot of growth for folks. So now you can see even this one's starting to get ahead, and that one just bloomed within the past 2 days, had to have been, which is remarkable. So I'm just kind of excited. Planted a couple more of the melons that have been sitting here for ages, and finally got around to, we decided, all right, it's just time to rescue whatever we've got left, because a lot of the collards had died off. So we planted kale and collards, and I realized, one of those obvious things that you think about and you realize or you learn early on, which is with the technique that I saw, normally when people plant corn, beans, squash together, which we did in these mounds or in these 2 beds, they'll mound up the soil. And there are a couple purposes for that. I think one is that you actually conserve soil. You concentrate the soil where the plant actually needs it. 2, it's able to aerate the roots a bit better. You get a bigger surface area for oxygen to exchange and everything else. And then 3, you've got the benefit of maybe water going to where it actually needs to go, and the plant will kind of take better direction in terms of where the roots are gonna head out. So there's that. The other interesting observation was here as I was weeding, not really weeding, just watering the Mexican sunflowers, is that you've got these guys, here's a better example. The morning glories, they grow, I just pulled them out not too long ago, and they'll grow towards the Mexican sunflowers. I'll see if I can find a good example as I water. Here they're a bit far, but I think this is an example. So here we go. This one's making its way over it. It kind of tackled part of the plantain, and it's trying to get to the sunflower. So this is a morning glory vine. There's a sunflower. So I'll pull it out, and it'll be back within a day, 3 days, 4 days. You'll see it at that length. But the interesting observation I noticed is that the crabgrass, these, at least the red-stemmed kind, you can see the red stem there, this stuff doesn't grow on it as much. Like, yes, it sort of grows over it, but it stays away from it, especially when these are at that age. So I wonder if there's something that keeps it repelling or something. So an interesting thing is, I normally prioritize crabgrass as something that we would pull in. Crabgrass, by the way, is just a blanket term. I don't really know what kind of grass that is, but it's something that I normally would weed out pretty quickly, just because it's a kind of grass and when you need it, and it's didn't know what else it can do. But the way they grow with their rhizomes, and the fact that they deter, or they're at least they suppress the growth of the morning glory vine was interesting to me, and it may be an ally in terms of how you choose to plant and keep some of it. So let's say I kept a bunch of this crabgrass at the edge. Would that prevent a lot of the morning glory vines from growing in and encroaching upon some of the other plants? This right now you're looking at the orange cosmos, but again, I'm just thinking about the sunflowers. So that's the observation for the day, scientific potentially, and yeah, kind of neat. In this patch, this is the backside. So Julian came out again, second time in a while. He's been recuperating, but this is the mystery patch where I'm like, well, what are some of these plants? Like this thing, what is that? And he's like, I don't know what it is either. So it's still a mystery for both of us. And there's some other interesting plants. There are probably maybe 5, 6 other plants that I really am curious about, but I don't talk about just because I don't get around to them, or I need to bookmark them. I just want to see them grow a little bit more before I do anything with them. But this one's got the one that you're looking at right now with the white flower heads. I don't think they do bloom. Oh, cool, look at that. That is an open flower. Interesting. I don't know if I can get it to focus. No, maybe not. Anyways, when it did focus, there you go. So there's the flower. And oh my goodness, okay, there's an ant that's pollinating this one. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. There's the ant. Very out of focus. There we go. So, has a very deep taproot. And, so I'm being careful about where we plant it. I'm wondering about the yellowing at the edge of the lettuce and the red, if that was correlated with this plant. We've seen some very active examples of allelopathy, basically plants making their own herbicides, chemical warfare among plants, or as Julian says, they're being jerks. Maybe he used stronger language. He most certainly did. But anyways, but that's the observation. And last thing is the pepper. Look at that. So we've got some chili peppers. These are green here, but down there it's bright red. That's a beautiful pepper. So, as Julian says, this is the best bed out of all of them, and he's pretty right. I didn't do a lot with it because it's been thriving, but you can see different levels of progress, and I'm super lightheaded right now. So we're gonna call it a day. Cheers.